right, guys, this is the recording for phase change 1.2, and so we are diving into the unit, what we're going to study, our scenario, and all of that good stuff. And I know we've talked about how this is a unit that you guys have already done, and we're going to kind of lay the base layer today in this lesson, and then we will end up skipping and moving around and adding things in as we go through. But I want to make sure we all have the same base layer and we all have the same knowledge. So you can see assignment here. Click on that. When you open that up, you're going to see the warm up and you're going to see these 3 different cups of water. And so you needed to describe what you see that is different about those 3 cups. And I wanted you to at least put 3 differences below. And so that is the warm up. And then I have the intro to the unit. And so I'm going to use the slides on the homepage, which you also have access to. So you can watch these videos and look at these images on your own. The warm up, like I said, is right there, our 3 cups of water. And so we are focusing on this unit, obviously phase change, and we're looking at how the appearance of a substance can change, but the substance stays the same. It's still water, but it's water in 3 different phases, solid, liquid, and gas. And so that's kind of the theme of the whole unit. And so, oops, I skipped a slide. Earth is the only place in the universe where we can find all 3 states of water in one place. So we have liquid water, solid water, which is ice, and water vapor or gas in the air and around us. And recently, NASA discovered that Titan, which is one of Saturn's moons, actually has lakes and seas on it, which means it has enough liquid to have these different bodies of water, which is really interesting. And there is a video to go along with it. And I'm going to play this video. I'm going to try to turn my speakers up so that you can hear it. If not, you do have access to these videos on your Canvas. But I figure I'll try to play them and see if it works. All right, so that was just a little intro, and I'm going to skip through to these. So kind of our scenario is that there is a lake on Titan that disappeared. And so here, this photo in 2007 shows the dark area where the lake was, and now in 2009, it is gone. So what happened to that lake? And obviously there's different ideas, and that is our chapter 1 question. What happened to the liquid in Titan's lake? And so in 2007, the scientists know that the lake was there because it was a different color, and they found out that it was liquid methane. And that's interesting because methane is usually a gas on Earth. And then we see that in 2009, it's gone, but there's different ways it could have been, it could have disappeared. So the claim we have here is the lake froze, so it turned from from liquid methane to solid methane. And then we have our second claim down here that the lake evaporated. And so this is just the bottom of the surface of Titan. We are now going to look into phase changes. So there are a variety of clips here. And like I said earlier, all of these videos are available to you. And so before we jump into that, I wanted your initial prediction about what you think happened to that lake on Titan. So it's a guess. Remember, predictions are just educated guesses. And so I want you to kind of think before we actually dive in, what is your thoughts about that disappearing lake? Now I'm going to show you a clip, and I'm going to show each one once. And obviously you can pause the video and rewind this recording to be able to watch it again. And so you are going to describe what's happening in each one of these phase changes videos. So the phase is obviously changing, and I want you to tell me a little bit of what's happening and just observations. You can just write down 2 things that you see, and we'll kind of break it down from there. So this is the first one. And so you can pause the video and rewatch it. You can pause the video and write your observations, but I'm going to kind of go through, because remember, these recordings, you can pause, rewind, skip through things, however you want to do it. And these slides are on the page for you. But this is number 2, evaporation in the mud. Oops. If it wants to let me play it. There we go. And then number 3 is melting popsicle. And then number 4 is freezing tree branches. Okay, so you should have this all filled out. And these all introduced different phase changes. And so these are the main ones we're focusing on: melting, freezing, evaporation, and condensation. And so I'm going to show you some slides, and then I want you to write what these different phases mean in your own words. And so going through my slides again. So a phase is a different form or state. So just like we talked about in the beginning, water in its three phases, solid, liquid, gas. And so we are thinking about how these different substances can change from one form to the other, one phase from the other. And obviously solid can melt and become a liquid. Liquid can evaporate and become a gas, and vice versa. A gas can condensate and become liquid, and liquid can freeze and become solid. And I will show you that in more detail. So the idea is a solid turning to liquid is melting. A solid, a liquid turning to a solid is freezing. So that's these two arrows here. Solid going to liquid is melting, and then liquid going to solid. Can't talk today. A solid turning to a, oh my goodness, a liquid turning to a solid is freezing. I swear, it's been a long day already. My goodness. And then the second part of this over here, liquid turning to a gas is evaporation, and then gas to liquid condensation. So remember, you are adding these in your own words here. The next two parts are quick little readings. The first one is just a fact sheet. And so if you click here, it will open up this fact sheet in Amplify. And this is some cool facts about Titan. And obviously, if we're trying to figure out what happened on this lake, we want to know things about Titan, like its temperatures and different things about it that could affect what happened. And so it's going to make me log in. So here's the fact sheet, and it's got really cool pictures. And so here's Titan with it being around Saturn and its rings. And you can see the different lakes and seas, and then talks about different things like the temperature and the different kind of surface it has. So this is important. And so what you're going to do is find 5 interesting facts. If I was you, I would focus those 5 interesting facts towards things that will help you solve the mystery of how this lake disappeared. And then for homework, there is a reading about air pressure and Boyle's law. And Boyle was famous for discovering some things about gases. So that kind of ties into what we are doing. And so that is that. So you'll complete this and turn that in. And that's it for our phase change 1.2.